I just watched Freeway, a somewhat recent Vinegar Syndrome release. I just actually subscribed for another year, debated it briefly, and then I pulled the trigger and watched this movie. So, what did I think? Hold on. Freeway is basically a dark comedy take, modernized, obviously, version of Little Red Riding Hood. You don't really need to know that, but that's definitely there in some of the names of the characters. And then they have Danny Elfman doing the soundtrack, and it gives it that very whimsical, fable-like feeling. It adds to it. And then the opening credits really make it clear from the beginning. But as I watched it, I wasn't thinking about that stuff at all, though. But it was there, like the feeling was there. I had never seen this before. I must have been 15 when it came out and totally unaware, and maybe just young enough to not be seeking it out, really, So, totally over my head at the time. Glad to have become aware of it now, though. It was a blind watch and a blind buy. As I said, I do tend to subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome, and I get a lot of my off-kilter movie cravings taken care of that way. There's a ton of special features and like multiple commentaries. I haven't dove into any of it. I know like almost nothing about the movie other than having just watched it. The performances in particular, like Reese Witherspoon and Kiefer Sutherland, were great. There's a couple little moments early on where there's some iffy acting, and there's a couple scenes I noticed early on, one in particular in my mind that just, I don't know, they probably just weren't able to take very many takes of it, and what they had was, not worth cutting around. So I thought it was going to stay like that, and then, I don't know, later on in the movie, that stuff was not an issue anymore. So, not that really killed anything. It was just, I was getting a very different impression for a minute than what it ended up being. So if you do give this a shot and you're just like, I don't know, like, just keep going. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. That first section of the movie's all set up anyway, really. And that's another thing I really love about this movie. It keeps changing. Like, it's one thing, and then it's another thing, and then it's another thing, and then it's like, it's like 5 different things going on. You got the intro part, which is like the setup and like the family drama stuff, which is all over the top and ridiculous. Then you basically have like a hitchhiking road movie thing going on for a second. Then you've got like women in prison things going on. Then you've got a courtroom kind of drama going on. And then you've got like more of a suspense, like thriller-esque thing going on at the end. Well, and it blends. These things blend as you go too, but it keeps just changing. It doesn't feel, it feels like multiple movies in one, or multiple genres really in one, and blend. It fits together perfectly fine, but it doesn't stick with any of it for too long, or it doesn't get boring. So I'm glad I checked this out. Just wanted to make a quick video recommending it if anyone hasn't heard of it. I think it's probably more well known than I realize, but at the same time, I've never heard anyone talk about it either. So I don't know. It was probably, the one side note is that it is one of the crazier movies from the 90s for sure in terms of content. So not that that's a problem for me, but I think less people would have seen it, and I think it was in a cut version slightly too, and this version from Vinegar Syndrome has, I guess, everything that's available in it. So I can guess at a couple things that probably weren't there theatrically, if it had much of a theatrical run, I don't know. But well worth checking out, unless you're just really squeamish or something. But otherwise, just stick with it. It's awesome. Enjoy. Peace.